FM Greeno and welcome along to my new series, Bottom to Top. This is a preview episode where we'll be looking at the potential teams that we might be taking over, and then we will let the wheel of justice decide. So, basically the idea behind this series is that we are going to take one of the teams that is predicted to finish bottom of the second tier in one of 8 nations. Those nations being Belgium, France, Germany, Italy, Netherlands, Portugal, Scotland or Spain. So like I say, we'll take the team that's predicted to finish bottom and see if we can take them up into the top flight and challenging for honours. So without further ado, let's get through and have a look at the 8 contenders. So the first club we're going to be taking a look at here is Lommel of Belgium. As you can see, they're predicted to finish bottom of that league. They're a club that's perennially been in the second division in Belgium, never done any better. Reasonably well supported. We've got 3,000 season ticket holders, so that's nice. We're going to get a few crowds in. The facilities aren't too bad. 12,500 stadium, not many seats. Reasonable facilities, pretty average and adequate, whatever, but not too bad. We've got an affiliation with Genk, which might come in handy in terms of getting some players from a higher division. Actually, it's interesting, Lommel have been bought very recently by the same guys who own Man City, so I think that'll be a good club to have a say within FM21 for sure. In terms of the squad, yeah, it's okay, it's not brilliant, but you know, there's something to work with here, I think. So yeah, so Lommel could be a decent option. Moving across to France, we come to Rodez Aveyron. As you can see, finished bottom is predicted. They've never been above the National level. It's the first season going up into Ligue 2, so this is going to be a bit of a challenge, I think, from that perspective. A smaller club. Nearly a couple of thousand season ticket holders, so not too bad. Decent bit of support there. Facilities are okay. 7,000 seater stadium, or 7,000 capacity stadium. Sorry, 4,500 seats. So there's only 5,000 capacity used in normal matches though, so quite why that is. The facilities aren't brilliant. A lot of poor stuff in amongst here, so I think we're going to struggle to get young players coming through. We do have an affiliation here with Montpellier, so again a chance to get some players from a higher division team. In terms of the squad, again, it's okay. You know, there's a bit of experience in amongst it. There's not a lot of youth kicking around, but yeah, something to work with. So I think Rodez might not be too bad if we get them. Moving across to Germany now, and the team predicted to finish bottom of the second Bundesliga are VfL Osnabrück. So if we take a look at them, you can see they do have a little bit of history in the second tier, although most of their recent history certainly has been at the level below that in the third league. These are not a bad team, I think. So 7,500 season ticket holders, so maybe, you know, there might be a little bit of money kicking around. The facilities are decent. We've got nearly 17,000 stadium with just over 6,000 seats. The facilities are okay. Could probably do with a little bit of improvement. Obviously Germany is one of the harder leagues to get up through. I think the second Bundesliga has got a lot of decent teams in it, so that's going to be a bit of a challenge for a lower club. There's no affiliations here. If we look at the squad, obviously, yeah, there's a bit of talent in amongst it, a couple of decent players in on loan. So yeah, so I think there's some potential in amongst this. One problem that I have noticed is that our decent youngster here, Felix Agu, is actually joining Werder at the end of the season and on a free transfer for some reason, so that's a bit of a problem. He's a player I wouldn't have minded being able to cash in on, but if we get Osnabrück, that's just something we're going to have to deal with. The next country we're looking at is Italy, so looking into Serie B, and the team predicted to finish bottom there are Juve Stabia, who are a team situated down near Naples. Again, you can see they have a little bit of history at Serie B level, but most of their history has been below that. Again, it's a reasonably well supported team by the looks of it, nearly 3,000 season ticket holders. we're not allowed to sign non-EU players from abroad. I don't know if that's a league rule or just a club rule, but that's a little bit restricting. In terms of the facilities, we've got an all-seater stadium, which is nice, nearly 13,000. Pretty good. We've got some half-decent facilities, good youth facilities, although the youth recruitment certainly does need some work. But yeah, these facilities we can certainly work with. One bonus that I have noticed here is we have an affiliation with both Atalanta and Lazio. So there's a good chance to get some decent players in on loan, I think. You'll see there are quite a lot of players in on loan already. So we'll have a little look and see if any of those are any good if we end up here. But yeah, I think this is a decent little club. Our fifth potential destination is in the Netherlands, and we are looking at Telstar. So again, very, very similar history to the rest of them, I guess. Perennially in this kind of level, never done anything more than that at all. If we take a look at their general kind of setup, yeah, 1,200 season ticket holders. I guess that's not bad for a lower division team in a sort of fairly congested nation like Netherlands. Fairly small population, but quite a lot of teams kicking around. So a bit of competition for fans. The facilities, well, it's only just over a 3,000 seater stadium, so if we do move up a level, we might need to think about that a little bit. Facilities again could do with some work, but I guess for the level they're at, they're not too bad right now. I think we definitely need to look at the youth facilities a little bit there. We do have an affiliation with AZ Alkmaar, which is good. Again, we might be able to get some decent youngsters on loan there. The current squad, we have a couple of decent players. We have got some players in on loan already. So, yeah, I don't think this looks too bad. Moving across to sunnier climes once again, we are into Portugal now, and in the Portuguese second league, the team predicted to finish bottom are called Casa Pia. I think these are probably the smallest out of all the options. They've been very much a lower division Portuguese side throughout their entire history. They're based in Lisbon, only about 3 or 4 miles away from Benfica, so that I guess you might be able to get an affiliation with some of those guys at some point potentially. You can see here, only 100 season ticket holders though, so they are a really, really little club. So I guess finance is going to be a bit of a problem at this kind of level. Facilities, they're currently in a 1,200 all-seater stadium. They are moving back into their main ground, which is being redeveloped. Now, I don't know how big that's going to be, but I don't imagine it's going to be more than about 2,000 or 3,000 people, based on the current club that I've got to checked out online. We got some decent-ish facilities here, good training facilities, good youth facilities, so there's some potential to bring some youngsters through. But of course, being based in Lisbon with a lot of bigger clubs around, whether we can actually get hold of any decent youngsters, well, that's a different matter. We have got a senior affiliate currently in Setúbal, so we might be able to get some players in on loan from there. But whether we really need many more loan players, I don't know, because we've got quite a few in already. So yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of value in the squad in our own players. I think this one would be a bit of a challenge, although maybe the Portuguese second league isn't as strong as some of the other ones we're looking at. Heading north to Scotland, and we find ourselves looking at Queen of the South, who are predicted to finish bottom of the Ladbrokes Championship. It's a decent little club. I actually went to watch a game up there about a year ago. I saw them lose at home to Inverness Caledonian Thistle. Very nice people at the stadium and everything, so yeah, it was a good day out. They've got 850 season ticket holders, which isn't a lot. There's a little bit of room for growth within the club though. The capacity of the ground is nearly 9,000 with 3,500 seats. They've got one really nice newish stand actually. The rest is a little bit run down, but perfectly good for that kind of level. The facilities aren't too bad, good training facilities, average youth. A bit concerned about the youth recruitment, particularly as around there aren't too many big clubs looking to pick up players, I wouldn't have thought. In terms of the affiliations, this is a bit of a weird one. For some reason the senior affiliate is Annan Athletic, who are situated just a few miles down the road but 2 leagues below. So quite how they're the senior affiliate, I don't really know. The squad looks thin, that's for sure. Not too many contracted players, a few loans. One player you might recognise, Stephen Dobby, who used to play up front for Swansea at a decent level. He's been banging in the goals for Queen of the South over the last couple of years, but he's really reaching the the end of his footballing career here. He's 36 and he's on a lot of money for this level of football, so maybe he's a player we encourage to move on. But yeah, I think this would be a good, interesting challenge, Green of the South. I think getting out of this league might not be too bad after a season or two. Of course, the real challenge is when you get into the Premiership and you're up against the likes of Celtic and Rangers and Aberdeen and those guys. For our 8th and final option, we are heading across to Spain, and the team predicted to finish bottom there are Mirandés. They're up in northern Spain, about 70 or 80 miles south of Bilbao, I think. And again, a team that's not really got a huge amount of history at this level, although they have played in the second division in the last 10 years, so that's not so bad. 4,000 season ticket holders, which is okay. But the good thing about that, really, I suppose, is that our stadium only holds just under 6,000, so you'd expect it to be full every week and pretty much rocking with home fans. The facilities are not brilliant, to be honest. I think a club at this level, you'd be wanting to look to bring some decent youngsters through, and with below average youth facilities and basic youth recruitment, that's not looking too hopeful, so that definitely needs some work. Nothing good really in amongst the affiliations, so maybe we can look at setting up something with a higher level team. We do seem to be good at getting loan players in, though. We have got an awful lot of them, and in fact most of the best players in the squad currently are all on loan. The loan rules in Spain are fairly lax, though. I think you can almost put out a team entirely of loan players without too much problem, so maybe that's something we're going to be looking at over the first couple of years, bolstering the squad with as many young loan players from decent clubs, and see if we can get up the leagues a little bit that way. So yes, I think this will be an interesting challenge, but yeah, not without its problems for sure. The other thing to take into account, of course, is similar to some of the other leagues, there are a lot of decent clubs in the second division in Spain. You've got your Deportivos and Malaga and Girona and clubs like that, so yeah, that's going to be a bit of a challenge to pip all of those to get promotion for sure. And so it's decision time. Now, it's not a decision I'm going to make myself. I'm going to rely on the wheel of justice to help me out. Now, just to make things a little bit more awkward, my lucky number has always been number 4. So we're going to have 3 spins to rule clubs out, and whoever wins the 4th spin will be the team we go with. So, spin number 1 underway, and the first team being ruled out are Queen of the South. So we will not be heading to Scotland. We spin again, and the second team out of contention are Mirandés. So no Spanish sojourn for us there. 6 teams left. Who's going to be the next one ruled out? We are not going to France. Rodez are out. And so we have the 4th spin. So the team we are going to go to is going to be either Osnabrück in Germany, Telstar in the Netherlands, Lommel in Belgium, Casapia in Portugal, or Juve Stabia in Italy. And here we go. Who's it going to be? It is Lommel. We are off to Belgium. So here we are. We've packed up all our stuff in the van, driven across to Belgium and pitched up at Lommel. We're in the boardroom, having just signed the new contract, and we are now officially the manager. I think I'm going to wrap things up here. In the next episode, we'll come and have a good look through the club, assess the squad a little bit more, and get through the pre-season and start the process of taking Lommel from the bottom to the top. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. It's been interesting to take a look through some of these lesser teams. If you have enjoyed it, please leave a like, and any comments you have on either the decision that was made or any of the other clubs that you'd like to leave any notes about, then yeah, please do so, and I'd love to see them in the comments section. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do so. I think this save is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a real challenge and a few bumps along the way, I'm sure. So yeah, it should make for some interesting viewing, I think. But yeah, in the meantime, just thank you very much for watching and your continued support on the channel. And I will see you next time as we start to take Lommel from the bottom to the top. Bye for now.